I like the question he asked me because I could share all my knowledge I have for Australia. So it was good chat.
Very cool. I'm glad you were able to do that. And the meeting we'll get going here, but at the meeting with Crescendo, that was just yesterday then with Sayali.
Yes, Sayali, because she was always traveling, and also we have a time difference. It's going to be bigger after this weekend, no, next weekend, because Australia is going to move forward by 1 hour.
Oh my God. Okay. Already.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my Lord.
it's going to be more complex. With India, we're going to have 5 hour and a half difference. So they're going to be closer to European territory, I think.
I see. Okay. I was wondering when all of that would start because I think it starts generally in November, I thought.
No, usually October, first weekend of October.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's where the because it's usually the spring. For us, it's spring. So that's where the daylight saving, we call it, starts. Not all the states, that's also complicated. So Queensland doesn't do it, even though they're also in the eastern seaboard. Victoria, Canberra, and New South Wales do it, and South Australia does it too. Perth doesn't do it, I think. So yeah, it's a different time zone everywhere, like you have in the US. But that will start and usually finish by April, first weekend of April, I think.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to get going. I think there'll be some more people coming. Unlike last time, I did not pull together a program. I thought Kaoru Jono was amazing. She was just fantastic, and a lot of really good things came out of that last meeting. I agree with you. It feels like it was days ago, but I guess it must have been a month ago. But
Yeah.
it's almost shocking. Part of the reason why I thought it would be good to make sure that we had this meeting was the two events that Jason is doing today in Tokyo, and then I believe it's Monday in Osaka. And so Alexandra is also here, and she subsequently, after the last meeting, has landed in Yokohama. So, and she's agreed to say a couple words about her situation and what she's doing. And she's also speaking tonight at the event in Tokyo. So that's awesome. Jason looks like he's in the room. So that's amazing. And any room that has Rochelle Kopp in it is a good room to be in. And also Yonabayashi San is here listening only, and I think probably listening only because of my English, but he may be, I think, hopefully be available to speak in Japanese if if he's open to that. And so if that's the case, Yonabayashi-san, please feel free to do that. And Kaoru always has some interesting activities and things going on, and so we'd love to hear from you as well. So, where would you like to start, Kaoru?
Well, so not so much happening with my golf journey. I've been playing golf, obviously, and horribly. So that's a sad part of my life right now. But been busy with the current main gig about a grants program. I manage innovation grants program that connect Japan, Austria through research activities. So we just closed the EOR with assessing the applications, all sort of like a nitty-gritty part started. So it's a bit busy with it. Also, next weekend, the once a year we have a big conference between Japan and Australia. It's called AJBCC or JABCC, whether you start from Australia or Japan. So that's the largest association or the business leaders are members. So that usually they alternate the location. Last year it was in Nagoya, and this year it's going to be in Perth. So it's been more than 15 years since I went to Perth last time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much it's progressed since I visited, because I thought it's a sleepy town. Everything closed by 5 p.m. that time. But we are looking forward to it. And a prime minister even show up, and a CEO of like a big organization like Hitachi, Mitsui, is like they all show up as well usually to just to have a remarks. So this is a big deal for business society for Japan, Australia. And there's a side event called Innovation Forum. I'm a chair of that forum, so I'm also busy organizing the event to bring the prominent speakers. Like we have one amazing lady called Michelle Simmons. She's one of the most known doctor for quantum computing. She's globally known lady, and she's going to speak for our forum, so which is so exciting. Yeah, so my life is more occupied with the real job right now, more than golf journey. But yeah, it's been good and it's getting warmer, less raining, like a crazy exceptional rain in Sydney last in August. I think it was a record breaking amount. But yeah, it's back to normal Sydney, sunny. It's like 24, 5 degrees now, which is awesome. Yep. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you for the update. I before I introduce Jason and Alexandra, I'd just like to frame up some of the things that are going on right now, because this is kind of like the busiest we've ever been at Global Chamber, because earlier this year, our global board, which started in February, it kicked off with Dr. Sanjeev Kagram uh, pulling together a 15-leader board from every part of the world. And they tasked us with the goal of becoming more intentional in our growth and less kind of organic of what we've been doing, and be really thoughtful about how we're growing more so than we have been. And so one of the things that we did was develop an AI tool called Globy, and we've been using Globy, and Alexandra knows all about Globy because she's one of now the global experts on Globy, because she helped put that together along with the connectivity to the operating system that we're implementing. So the good news is that Globy is here and that it's going to be introduced to members. The interesting, more challenging news has been that we had hoped to be up with all of that on August 8th. And as often happens with IT systems, and Jason, you know this as well as many, that it doesn't happen when you want it to happen. And so now our go live date is October 8th. And I feel good about that. I did not feel that great about it about 2 to 3 weeks ago, but after what we call a come to Jesus meeting with the folks that are implementing with us, um, to go through where we need to be, they understand that we need to be there, and they're on our side, and they're going to make sure that happens. And so, and I believe that. So I feel really good about October 8th, which is only a couple weeks away, to be able to be fully up. But we've already started to roll things out. And Alexandra, it does, we did roll out finally the referral form today. It does have some issues and problems with it, and so instead of rolling it out to everybody, we rolled it out just to the Los Angeles Advisory Board, which we had earlier today, and they were picking it apart in terms of all the things that were not quite right with it. So Lowell, as you know, Lowell has been part of that. He put together a tremendous marketing program to do that, and he's got the feedback now to fix all of the things that need to be fixed, and then we'll be rolling that out over the next couple weeks. So he's also putting together a program that announces that we're now in 605 chapters instead of 525. We've been talking about 525 since the beginning of Global Chamber, but when we actually went through and noticed how many cities, metro areas that we're in, it's actually 605 because we've been adding a bunch of cities. It actually originally was 535, but I rounded it down to 525 just because I like the number 525 instead of 535. We've subsequently been to, it's actually, I think, 606, but 606 is not a good number. So we're going to use 605, and we're going to roll that out. If for whatever reason there's a number that's better than 605, like 600, that you think would play better, in your own mind or around the world, let me know. But we're at this point over the next few weeks going to be announcing 605s unless somebody says, well, why didn't you pick 602? Because that's a much better numerology or something like that. I know 666 is not a good one to do. So we'll definitely not do that. But 604 or 606 is the number for chapters. And so that's why we took 605. So just to give you kind of the overview, a lot of what is happening right now is system growth, is intentional chapter growth. And part of that is Alexandra, certainly not our choice. It's Alexandra's choice to be in Japan, intentionally wanting in her life to be able to speak Japanese at a business level so that she can use that going forward. So she's in Yokohama for 10 months. And so I'd like to introduce Alexandra, and I'd like to introduce Jason Ball, and they're going to be together tonight in Tokyo, in Shinagawa, right? Where the event is. Could you let us know a little bit? Maybe let's let Alexandra start and maybe explain a little bit about your situation and what you're doing. Very exciting. And then we'll segue into Jason and what's going on there. And if there's anything that we can do to help with the Tokyo event and anything we can do to help with the Osaka event, and then longer term, how best to collaborate and to grow the Business in Japan network along with the Global Chamber network in Japan. Alexandra, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, no, thank you, Doug, and definitely it's been quite a journey, kind of arriving here in Japan and starting to get used to life here. But overall, things have been going really great. Let's see, I think we're pretty much exactly today at a month that I've been here in Yokohama. And my school has kind of basically what I'm doing is I'm doing advanced Japanese language study for specifically like business purposes, and just trying to prepare myself for a potential career here in Japan if I can do it, or at least something related to Japan and Japan business. Um, but so yeah, the classes have been good. Everything is very intensive, I will say. So usually, my days are I do like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. physically at the center taking classes. Right now we're doing a lot of grammar focus, a lot of Kegel, a lot of, kanji, vocabulary, reading comprehension, and then outside of class, usually each day is about like maybe 5 hours of just like individualized study. So we're doing a very intensive kanji program, and I'm not necessarily mastering all of that, but trying to keep up with it as best as I can. And then yeah, there's some great people in the program. People are really, really bright. And it's cool to be in a situation where everyone is so focused on Japanese. That's not really something I've ever experienced before. In college, you have a lot of friends from different fields, but here everyone is just so passionate about Japanese, which is great. And then, yeah, I'm excited today because I get to finally meet Jason Ball in person after few years, a couple years maybe now. So definitely looking forward to that and looking forward to the event. I see it's sold out, so super excited about that. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, but no, I'll turn it over to Jason.
Uh, Jason, that looked like a wow. Are
Good
you,
morning to those
how are, how
talking
are
with
you? Where
me.
are you today?
I am on the 30th floor of um, a residential building in Gotenyama, which is close to Osaki in the
Okay.
center of Tokyo.
I
And
know that well, right next to Gotanda.
yes, exactly. And I will be running around Tokyo buying stuff from 100 yen shops and Hanamasa and stuff like that for the event. I really don't know how many people are going to turn up. We capped it at 100, then we went to 125, and then I just let a bunch of people on the waiting list on by putting it up to 150, and now we're on the wait list again. There's usually there's usually a 10 to 20% drop off of people who don't show up when there's no real commitment needed. But on the flip side of that, if you want to charge first, you get about 5 to 10% of potential people doing that. And so, what I've learned over the years is that you let people RSVP, and then you allow for a bunch of people who don't show up because there was no real commitment in saying they were coming. However, this event has, it's our fifth style of this event. We call it Blend Tokyo. And it's me and 3 Japanese guys I know connecting our networks with each other. That was the general concept. Particularly one guy is, he's arguably one of the most connected people on LinkedIn who's Japanese in Japan, who isn't famous outside of LinkedIn and just has lots of followers, but doesn't necessarily do anything on LinkedIn. There are some people like that, but he has like 35,000 followers on LinkedIn, and whenever he posts something, there's usually three or 400 comments and reactions and stuff. So the idea was to mix my foreigner or very westernized Japanese network with his very Japanese network, and we're on our 5th one now. So I think there's the people who have said they're coming, they probably will have a higher amount who will actually come. So we could be rather full tonight, I think. I did a Boninkai, an end of year party in 2019 at the same location. We had a carvery, and we had about 140 people there, and yeah, it was crowded, but not too bad. But what we did do is we ran out of alcohol and food, even though we had so much. So I'm a bit worried about what I've ordered, whether it's going to be enough. But looking forward to tonight. Met an Australian who is a sound engineer looking for work, and he's I'm going to pay him because there's no PA system at this event, so he's going to bring stuff, and he's also a videographer, so he's going to video it, create some reels and short video from it, and generally use this event to capture and represent business in Japan, the community. So for myself, I am here my 3rd time this year, and since I left Japan after 18 and a half years living in Japan in January 2022, I have returned 3 times every year. And part of that was enabled by having a job which was 100% remote and gave us WeWork all access. So I didn't necessarily need to take time off work to actually come to Japan, and I would work in a WeWork. But 2 weeks ago, I was part of the 7th layoff of staff that they've had since I joined them. And so actually this was a holiday properly booked, but now I have no job to go back to. So I'm job searching sort of when I get back, but by coincidence, through Business in Japan's sort of limited business side, I had just signed with an IT company who has a wastewater company as a client, and that finally went ahead. And so I do have a month, which could be extended, doing some analysis of startups in Australia for them. And after that, they're interested in setting up an office in Australia. It's a large, well-known wastewater company in Japan. So I'm not completely out of work. And another company, while I'm here, have asked me whether I could put a proposal together for setting up a professional services department for their fintech business. So if I manage to do that to their success, then that will also be the start of me earning replacing my income with income from business in Japan. But beyond that, I have a paid membership program which I'm building. I haven't publicly announced it on LinkedIn to great fanfare, but I've invited a few hundred people, and there's about 10% of those maybe have joined. There's 2 levels, and the idea there is to bring my closest network together closer. And at the low tier level, which I call supporter level, that also gets people into events like tonight's which are normally 2,500 yen. That gets them in as part of their membership to any Business in Japan run events. And then the higher level is more, I call it the good people level, is me working with the members, helping them, giving understanding what they want to achieve in terms of Japan, and proactively helping them to build their network, make strategic introductions, those sorts of things, but also online masterminds and having them become closer and closer to work toward each other's goals. And also to finish this off, a blue sky goal that I'm interested in doing is helping Japanese SMEs, 1, 2, 10 or more, survive that otherwise wouldn't by perhaps they have a problem finding a successor. Perhaps they have no way to reach a global market, no concept, no language. Maybe we can discover SMEs that we as a growing group of good people can help. And that's the give back component of what I do.
Very cool. Well, thank you for that. How can we make this a success for you now and going forward? Osaka too, right? Next on Monday.
Yeah, well, the big thing is I've got to be able to come back to Japan, and that won't be a problem if I'm replacing my income with Business in Japan consulting. But the chances of me finding 100% remote job like I've just had the last 3 years, 9 months is probably slim. So I also want to lift it from 3 events a year to 4 once a quarter. So thank you for sponsoring and visibly helping these 2 events. So maybe just in the future also we can keep Global Chamber front and center as a sponsor, and Alexandra or anybody, if anyone can help on the day, that means I can have one less person that I ask to help. This event tonight, there's a large number of helpers that I've gathered, so you won't be running off your feet, Alexandria. But pizza is really expensive in Japan, but it's 50% the cost if you pick it up rather than have it delivered. And so we always do that. So that means we go out, order it and pick it up, or we order it, we then pick it up and bring it back by taxi. And because of the nature of large events where people line up, it takes maybe 45 minutes before everyone gets inside, literally and arriving not quite on time. Basically, the first run of pizza goes, and then there's half the event left. So we go back and we do a second run for pizza.
Wow.
And so that's the way we try to make sure that everyone gets something to eat. We get some onigiri and snacks and other stuff as well. But I mean, if there were more Global Chamber people in Tokyo, please put them on to me and we can have them more involved. And if someone can run an event while I'm not here, I've got some people who say they are willing to do that, but I'm not convinced that they'll be able to actually put it together on the night, because I actually, despite doing this with 3 other guys, really it's me who puts it all together. And yes, they go out and get the pizza and they do a lot of inviting people and promoting to their networks. But if I didn't do anything, nothing, everything would be ad hoc, set up in the last minute. So if there's anyone from Global Chamber that is a good organizer, logistics, it's everything that you imagine in terms of the drinks arriving just before. We got lots of ice. We try and keep them cold. All the different cups and napkins and various things from 100 yen shop to hold all the snacks. Taping large garbage bags to various areas so you can separate the garbage, which is important in Japan, is good. Even Yoshusho, people want a Yoshusho, so I have a stamp for Business in Japan, but still need to write the rest of the pad out maybe 100 times. So there's a whole bunch of things that just needs someone to do or to ask a helper to do who's ready and willing, but needs direction.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Jason? Any thoughts? Any help that you can provide?
No, overall, Jason, I'm happy to help with the pizza. So
Awesome.
got that covered.
Not just eating. That's great.
Yeah.
Can we find like a food sponsors? Because your network is so famous, and then now you're working with the famous Japanese. Can we seek someone to actually provide their food, to promote their food?
Yeah,
They can deliver it
it's
to you.
funny.
You know, I know it takes more time, maybe one more thing to coordinate, but
Last event I did get 20,000 yen here and 20,000 yen there. It's funny, the famous guy, Jun Matsumoto is his name. There's a talent called Jun Matsumoto, but that's not him. He just has the same name. He actually has done consulting for Domino's around use of LinkedIn by employees and for the business, but he's not yet willing to ask them to sponsor. I had another connection who did ask them, and just when we were asking them, it looked like they were going to donate. They closed a whole bunch of stores, and they were they announced that they're having trouble in Japan. So, yeah, that is possible. There's the third level of BIJ membership for BIJ partners and corporate, and I have one sponsor. He hasn't paid yet, but I have one sponsor this time. But that fee covers him for an entire year being a sponsor, and gives him a good people level membership as well. So it's not a huge amount of money. We are getting 4 cartons of beer to each event sent by one sponsor. We're getting 4 cartons of Wild Turkey Highball by the distributor. And there's a sponsor who's a sake brewery and sake experience tourist guy who's based in Kansai but usually comes to Tokyo, and he brings sake and goes off in the corner and does sort of like a tasting and stuff like that. So there is some level of sponsorship going on, but yeah, it will use up, especially with me hiring this guy to do the audio and visual, will use up most of the fee at the front door. I also for some helpers, like the lady on the front, I'd give them some money as well.
But does the venue cost something?
No.
Okay, so that's...
In fact, my connection there was in sales, and he organized it for free. He had left just before organizing this event, and when I spoke to them myself, although they knew me and whatever, they were wanting to charge for the room. And he came back, even though he's not employed with them anymore, had a chat to them, told them about the agreement, and they ended up waiving it. And so we're not paying this time. And in Osaka, that's through one of my network, talked to the trade organization of the Swiss embassy down there. It's called Swiss Next. And so they're supplying the venue for Osaka. But it's a good point. I need to make sure that I have a venue in case I can't do blend spaces in the future.
We Connect is offered to do a global chamber event. It's only probably maybe 180 to 100 in terms of size in Shibuya. So,
okay.
Do you know Mario
Long? In Japan partner, an active one, meaning I've referred them business and been paid by them.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Do you know Mario?
I know Scott and Matthew, the founder.
Okay. So the principal. Yeah. So, and Mario is kind of like the intermediary guy, or he's out of the community. Right. He can't make it tonight, he said, right. But they're all three are in support. So,
okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I should talk to them as a backup, because we don't have to do 150 people. We can do smaller events, put a little bit less effort into promoting, and that's about the number we get, 80 to 100. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Anybody else have any thoughts for Jason or questions? Rochelle, where is your office in Tokyo?
In my house.
In your house. Okay, where are you based?
I'm in Nihonbashi.
Oh my God. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great area. I love it. I'm near Ningyocho, if you know that. So it's real like traditional Tokyo. Lots of atmosphere, lots of great places to eat.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I'm going to be there tonight. Looking forward to seeing Jason. Jason,
I'll be busy, but I'll say hello. It's been a
yeah,
while.
exactly. I'll wave at you. I won't take too much of your time, but I'm looking forward to it. I think that you would have demand for having your events more often because I think that you fill a unique niche. The events are great. The crowd that you attract is a great crowd. I mean, I've always enjoyed meeting all the people that I've met there. It's just really positive atmosphere. So I think you do an excellent job. And I think that there's definitely demand for more often. And the more often you do it, the more it becomes a community. And, you said maybe do some smaller ones too. That makes sense also. But I definitely encourage you because I just think there's a lot of opportunity there because you're filling a niche and you're filling it well.
Yeah, the company that I'm consulting with for the wastewater company is an AI company. And it's an ex-colleague of mine who's a shacho. And the other owner to his business is a real estate company that has the top floor of Mark City West. So they have an office up there where most of it is sort of set up like a little bit like a WeWork, lots of individual space. He's offered that for technology, interesting developers, AI type stuff. He'd be interested.
I could definitely see you're doing like flavors or theme events. And so if you had an AI theme event or a tech theme event, I bet you'd get lots of people. And I think anything that has the word AI on it now attracts a lot of people in Japan. I saw another group that had some sort of AI meetup that got sold out the other day.
Oh yeah, I know a couple of people doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's now that you have a little more time to be doing stuff, I just think there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So go for it, is what I want to say.
Yeah.
I would say
It's a lot of
charge
work.
more. Maybe charge more. That's what I would say.
No, that's a good point.
That's a
Charge
good point.
more. Yeah. And also I thought I just want to emphasize that hi Kaoru. I thought that Kaoru's point about finding sponsors was also a really excellent suggestion. And so I just want to agree with that. It was a great idea.
Yeah.
I did talk. One of our members is a company called Yamada Consulting. I don't know where they are. I think that actually they're in the Nihonbashi area, kind of that center area, but doesn't matter. They want to do. They wouldn't mind doing something that was more M&A, more kind of not necessarily startup, but at least more tech interesting companies that are export oriented. And so we had the initial conversation, and they've funded something in the U.S., and so they could be a partner in Japan. So I'm connecting them to WeConnect, and so maybe we could noodle that as one of the themes that you do, kind of an exportable growth company from Japan. As you know, we've had maybe we did have one of our Tokyo events. We did have Brian Swords talk about the FDI component and how strong that is right now, and real huge right now from Japan.
Right.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
There was a message from Yonebayashi-san on the comments, so I just was reading that.
Yonebayashi.
And first, the connection to Jason, he's saying like, let me know if you need help. That's more relevant to you. And I just wanted to clarify my part, maybe in Japanese, if you guys don't mind. I just need to make sure what he meant. はじめましてっていうか何回かお会いしてますけど、画面上では。これどういったご依頼ですかね、ここに書かれてるのは。マイクがオンになってないです。
私の取引先のアニメ制作会社が、アニメのイベントに今後、オーストラリアに行くんですね、毎年。
はい。
アニプレックスとか、そういった会社が。で、その時に、彼らはオーストラリアにサポートがいないから、今、現地でアニメのグッズを売ってる個人の人にサポートしてもらってるけど、その荷物の物流とか、その展示会場に人を手配するとか、全体的にできてない。で、
うん。
できることありませんかっていうのをこの前、うんと、飲んでる時に話が出ていて、で、もしかしたらこのグローバルチャプターで、西中川さんいるから相談してみてもいいのかなと思って。
なるほどですね。まあ、個人的にはちょっと人の派遣とかあんまりこう、ちょっと強みではないので、まあ、ちょっと聞いてみますね。それは有料で雇えるってことですよね。
そうですね、そうです。なので、
そうですよね。
例えば西中川さんからそのオーストラリアの現地にいる人材派遣会社さんとかに発
う
注をしてもらうと
ん。
か。
ってことですね。あ、それ
はい。
だったらできると思います。それか、内容がそんなに複雑じゃなければ、こちらにいる学生さんとか、
あ、
でもいいのかなと思うんですね。そうすると、日本人の学生今増えてるので、オーストラリア。
うんうん。
まあ、ちゃんと頭のいい子たちですけど、彼ら
なので、
のタイミングが合えば、ちょうどいいかもしれないですね。英語も話せる。
あるとしたら、展示会場での、スタッフとしての
う
人の手
ん。
配と、あとは、日本からそのアニメグッズを持っていくことがあるので、その荷物を受け取ってくれる会社さん、倉庫とか、
う
そういう
ん。
事業者さんの多
おー。
分、複数話はあると思います。今回は無理やりアニメの制作会社のスタッフも20人ぐらいで、グッズを全部手持ちで持っていったらしいんです。
なるほど。
で、
わか
そうすると
ります。
結局、持っていける量が少ないから、現地のファンに提供できるものが少ないとか高くなってしまうっていうことで、それを改善していきたいっていうことなので、
なる
もしそうい
ほどですね。
ったところで、できることだけでもよければ、今度私の友人を紹介させてください。
うん、わかりました。ちょっと考えます。なんかちゃんとしたリクルーターは結構知ってるんですけども、そのイベント関係とかだとまたちょっと違うジャンルになりそうなので、ちょっと考
また、
えますが、はい。
はい。
何らかの形でお手伝いできればと思います。Okay,
はい。
Alexandra, please translate.
おーあ、すみません。それができるかどうかわかりません。まあ、ちょっとわかりましたと思うけど。
大体言ってることは分かった、なん
まあ、
となく。
大体わかりましたと思いますけど、でもまあ、10ヶ月はあともうちょっとわかるよう
ああ、
になる
確かに、
と思います
確かに。
けど。
まあ、しかも
でも、あ、
すごい、めちゃめちゃフォーマルな話し方はしてないから、またちょっと違うかもしれないですね。
あー、そうですね。まあ、私、
それが難しい、日本語の。
うーん。でも、はい。これから頑張ります。
はい、素晴らしい。Okay, thank you. And Doug, we're back.
Thank you. Great conversation. Thank you very much. Yonabayashi-san, it's great that you're not just listening. So thank you.
I think he can speak English. I think that's a Japanese nature.
Yeah.
Doesn't yeah, unless they're perfect, they don't feel like they can speak. Unfortunately, that's a culture, it's a bad education. Seriously, that has to change. It's very unfortunate, but yes. It's very hard to change as we get older, so I understand.
There's one person in the room that's not a member. So one of the changes with our new system is we've started in our events to identify who the members are, and so that's the asterisk that's there. So Amaf Bashmaf, that's a real name. I wasn't sure it was, but we are connected on LinkedIn, and it says in LinkedIn that you're out of Austin, and it looks like you got an amazing profile. Are you able to say hi and introduce yourself? Amaf, are you there? And so maybe not, but really interesting LinkedIn profile. Oh, okay. Are you a listener only? I'm
He's
driving.
driving.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So let's connect. I sent you a message in LinkedIn. You and I had connected a while back, and it's not clear what happened next. I could do the autopsy, but it looks like you're not on my radar screen. But you've got an amazing profile, and we're doing some. Actually, I was on a call today with Frisco, Texas, and they're doing, there's Texas is exploding with Japanese and Korean companies, and we've got 4 chapters there. There's all sorts of things going on. And so if you're really in Austin, let's definitely get you weaved in. There's a lot going on, as you already know, I'm sure. Before we close the room, anything else that anyone has? And I'll definitely ask all of you to make any final comments or anything that you need. One of the questions I still have for Jason, though, is, if there's some sort of a role that you're interested in, let me know, and let us know of anything that we should be looking out for. I'm assuming what might be good for you, but honestly, I don't really know. Before I let you go next, this company, Kaoru, that you met yesterday, Crescendo, that one actually could be very interesting for Global Chamber, and the CEO has already proposed a strategic alignment on a global scale with what they're doing and what Global Chamber is, and it's probably the most significant development that I've personally seen with Global Chamber ever. In the first 10 years of our lives, we've met 5 times. And 3 times ago, he suggested that we do a global partnership, which I then handed to our global board, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And I just had another meeting with him this last week, and that could change everything, that one partnership. So stay tuned. We are doing we started a global real estate initiative that we're announcing in Vancouver. I'm personally going and making the announcement. Global Chamber and 5 commercial real estate organizations that we're announcing, not virtually, but on the ground. So in October, we're doing that. And the Crescendo announcement, we may be incorporating some of what we're putting together in Vancouver in 10 days. So stay tuned. That could be kind of interesting. And Kaoru, you actually were part of all of that because they wanted to do something in Australia, and they were saying, "Well, tell me about talented people that you have there." And I gave them you, and then they wanted Saudi Arabia, and they were 3 different locations, and I gave you for Australia, and they were like, "Wow, she's amazing." And it's like, "Yeah, she is amazing."
Oh,
So
too much pressure now.
well, you have a profile that's just solid and professional, and you're a leader, and I said, she's got so many different things going on. I don't necessarily know whether she is available to do some of the things that you want to do, but she's an example of the kind of people that we like to attract. And so you're kind of weaved in there. So I don't know what you and Sayali talked about or how it all played out, but it's you're a talented person, and so you're potentially in the mix of all of that.
I'll be very keen to be involved with more real estate, definitely. As you know, I'm an investor as well, so not big scale, obviously. So Australia is, I think, as I mentioned that to her and also Martin yesterday, that's one of the big sector people can jump in, because unless you're a big organization, it's hard to get involved with banking and insurance in Australia. It's too big, and it's not individual play, 100% no, or mining is too big. But real estate, there's so many different angles you can play. So it could be just an investor or just a startup, like a real tech or prop tech. Like you can bring the new technology to like streamline buying, selling procedure or whatever, just there's so many different ways to be involved with the real estate. So it's probably sector specific. So we talked about what kind of industry we are specialized in. So, and I'm very interested in space, not so much defense. I'm not big on, I'm interested, but I cannot say I have a lot of knowledge in it. But space industry is something I really want to be involved much more. And I know a couple high-end people in Australia for space industry as well. So for that grants program I managed this year, we had one priority area called space innovation for Earth observation. That priority area came from MUFG, that's the largest Japanese bank. So we manage this large organization to provide us money, and we just collect the application from uni and industry partners to help them like take the project from A to B. So that's what we do. But yeah, space is one of the industry. Australia is a slow starter. It's funny, they were way advanced before probably 1950. There's a movie called Dish. I think Jason knows more than I watched it. Used to be very, very advanced in the space industry. Then after they switched complete to mining, because that's a lowest hanging fruit, then now they only have a space agency developed in 2018. So it's recent story. So they're kind of slow starter, but they have allies, US and Japan, obviously. India is maybe number 3 now in terms of like amount of money budget they have for space industry. It's massive. So yeah, it's definitely growing. And defense is definitely one of the most important sector for geopolitics now too. So.
Very good. Thank you. Jason, and anything else that we can do to help?
No, not that
Any
I can.
final comments?
Not that I can think of. Except my job, my experience in the last 3.
What would be a good fit?
Yeah, it's IT incident management. So it's part of IT service management, change, incident, and problem management. So it's if you're not in the industry, you might not know what all that means. But before that, for 4 years, I rolled out cloud call centers for Uniqlo, for Fast Retailing, the parent of Uniqlo. We rolled out to 13 countries their call center technology. Before that, I was in sort of a director sales and delivery role in a consulting firm. And most of my time in Japan has been sort of IT related, project management, business analysis, that sort of stuff.
Okay. What would forward looking be a good fit based on what you've seen? Like which companies, what type of role?
It's a good question. I mean, incident management is what I've been doing most recently, and it'd be good to continue to do that and solidify that as a skill. It's well paid in Australia, especially if you're this side of the world. It's usually on a follow the sun model. So yeah, I mean, IT service management roles.
Okay.
In large organizations would be good.
Got
And
it.
on the space industry, I was actually born in a place called Woomera in the middle of South Australia, a very small town where it was set up to do testing of early rocket engines, and
Awesome.
some of the early satellites were sent up from there. They developed some of the Exocet missile there and that sort of stuff. But also, it's the Woomera area is a massive area that extends from South Australia well into WA, West Australia, and they did atomic testing, Australia and British aerospace in the 50s.
Okay.
They did testing in that area, but it's still it's JAXA rents it out sometimes. The Americans are still involved in the area.
There's a couple universities in the U.S. that have the most significant space programs, and we're connected to both of them. So if there's something we can do to help, let us know there. Thunderbird, by the way, is one of them. Thunderbird's where our headquarters is. Thank you, Jason, for allowing Alexandra to say a few words tonight. Would you allow her and Rochelle to say a couple words together? Is that okay?
Sure. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
Rochelle, are you open to saying a few words? Oh, Rochelle, are you there? Oh, we lost you. That's
No,
okay.
I was just having trouble unmuting. So I'm sorry. You want me to say a few words about what?
Oh, just say hi to everybody tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, certainly. Well, so it's good to talk with everyone, and yeah, we're just feeling very glad here in Tokyo that it's not as hot as it has been. So we're cooling off a little bit, and I think everyone's gearing up for fall activities. And so I'm looking forward to attending the event tonight. And so I hope I'll meet you, Alexandra, and I'll wave to you, Jason, because I know you'll be busy. And I guess that's about all I have to say right now.
Sounds good. And I think Yonabayashi-san is not available to come. Is that true? So, but if you're able to, is it too late, Jason, to slip in?
Oh, he could turn up.
Okay.
Just on what you put in the chat, Yonabayashi-san, I sent you an invitation on LinkedIn, but you've got a Chinese name. It sounds like Liu LLC, a company name, Liu Xing LLC. I did meet a guy from Shanghai who's based in Japan now, representing like family office, and they want to buy Japanese companies. So in terms of your M&A question, I can connect you to him. I don't know how many Japanese companies are open to acquisition by Chinese ones, but that's what he's doing.
Very good. Thank
Cool.
you. Kaoru, you have the last word? What would you like to share?
Well, I wish I could be there tonight. Like, sounds like amazing event, and I'm sure you do well as you've been doing. Like, hopefully I'll be there next time, and yeah, looking forward to seeing the pictures or story, hearing the story how it went, and also Osaka next week. Good luck with it. Yes, I think that's as always. It's a more intimate meeting today, but it was nice to be able to talk more deeply about so many different things, and yeah, and I'll keep an eye out on any job for you as well. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Good
Thanks,
luck
Doug.
tonight.
See you tonight, Alexandria. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks all. Take care.